Nova,
Who's
baby. Sorry,
dog,
it's my
cat?
dog.
Oh, okay.
Dog.
Okay. Nova, that's a great name. That's a great name.
Nova. Yeah, she's a handful
Before I
and a
start
half.
record, yeah, handful and a half. Before I start recording, when I do the podcast, should I go Jordan Christine Simone? Is that the correct
Simone. Yeah.
Simone? And should I go with Jordan Christine Simone or just like your Zoom thing, Jordan Simone, when I do the podcast, when I title the names? Which
Either
you
works. Whichever
either
is
works.
less work for you.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. First of all, I really enjoyed Supercell. The fact that it was a real great escapist adventure reminded me of, I'm a certain age. I remember the Steven Spielberg films from the 1980s. It's
Yeah.
escapist fare, but it's also a very resonant family drama. And
Yeah.
did these two things, were these one of the two of the elements that actually attracted you to Supercell?
Definitely. I mean, it was the those were the main things that attracted me to Supercell. Although I didn't grow up in the 80s, those were a lot of the things that I watched, the Spielberg, the E.T., the family movies, the ones that made you just want to sit down on the couch with your mom and dad and your brothers and sisters and, enjoy a good story. So once I read the script and I got the chance to talk with the director, Jamie, and he told me about how there was going to be this beautiful score and, all of these interesting director choices, I felt like I just had to be a part of the project. And it's so cool to be able to see myself in that kind of light, to see myself playing a character that is a part of that kind of movie. It's very interesting. I'm so sorry, my dog is just
No
like,
worries. No worries. I should be interviewing Nova. Nova's gonna, I'm
yeah,
sure Nova's gonna
honestly,
be.
she's wonderful on camera. She's been on the cover of several magazines. She
That's
is a
amazing.
diva for sure.
Definitely diva. But look, here's the thing. What was your reaction when you saw the final cut of this film? You must have been so pleased. You mentioned the score. The score is very sweeping. And I really, there's going to be some on our podcast. Two of us really loved it. One person went the other way. You can go either way in this movie. Can you just talk about the open-heartedness of this movie, which I thought was really interesting as well, and that sweeping score? How pleased were you with the final cut?
I mean, I loved it. It was I mean, I got the chance to see it in a theater. So like watching it on the big screen as opposed to, just watching it on your television, it's so captivating and it feels so good. It really, I don't know, it just really, really captured my eye. The score of it, as I said, it's absolutely beautiful and it really conveys a lot of the emotion and a lot of it. I feel like it really conveys the message that you don't see like immediately on screen. You can definitely feel some hidden emotions within the score. It just looks so beautiful to see. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak the movie's praises enough. I mean, just besides the fact that I'm in it, I should speak its praises, but I really just love the way that it looked, the way that it was edited, and the way that it was put together. And obviously, everybody's performance was spectacular. So,
Yes. To that point, I mentioned to Daniel that I was really intimidated interviewing over the years, interviewing Anne Heche. She was so always locked in with
yeah.
whenever I interviewed her, and what a lot of your scenes are with her. What's it like being with an actor who's so locked in on the material and feels really in the moment? I'm sure. What's that energy like? Just that transference?
It's just a teachable, it feels like she's a teacher. It felt like she was a teacher. She was obviously an amazing actor, but whenever I got the chance to do a scene with her, we really didn't even feel like we had to like sit down and like study or anything. It just clicked. And she was so really she was so complimentary. Just the sweetest person in the world. And I really enjoyed being able to talk to her and ask her questions, not only about the industry, but about certain character choices and everything. She really gave me a lot of inspiration to take the character Harper to a level that I probably wouldn't have on my own.
Jordan, just doing a little bit of research on you. You
Yeah.
sing. You're an artist.
Yeah.
You're a co-author of a book with your father. What
Yeah.
what is your journey like? How do you see yourself as an artist? Are these all different paths, or do they all combine into one? And if so, what is that one for you, I guess?
I mean, I try to just do a little bit of everything. They're all really, really different paths, and they're all things that I didn't necessarily plan for. I wasn't like aiming to be like, that one girl that can do just about everything. That wasn't the goal. It was just, being able to dip my toe into different fields and seeing if I could do it. I'm the type of person that I want to try just about everything. And yeah, so it wasn't really like a one big path sort of thing. It was just these are fields that I've found interest in. Music and acting and writing are all fields that I was always drawn to as a kid, and I just wanted to try them for myself. And I think I got the chance to prove to just about anybody and a lot of young girls my age that you can do it too. So.
We are who we are. I have yet to get to it because one of the things about being intimidated, I feel like if I see it, I'll go through such a really intense journey with the
Yeah.
characters. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for it, because maybe I'm not as emotionally intelligent as you are, and I don't have
Stop.
Nova by my side either. But I expect from watching it on my side, but then on your side, how has that shaped you as a person? Just now that you have some distance to process all that stuff.
The distance was definitely needed. It definitely made me the more emotionally mature person I am today. I mean, it's a very, like you said, it's a very, very captivating show, and it definitely will take you through a whirlwind of feelings, which is what it did for me. I discovered a lot of things on that set, realizing my gender identity, discovering I'm gender fluid, and, understanding my sexuality a little bit more. There was a lot of things that I was able to learn about myself in playing the character Caitlin, but it was a very, very great learning experience. I mean, I look at every set as a learning experience. I learn something new and I add something to my repertoire. But We Are Who We Are definitely influence the more mature side of me, and definitely influence the more vulnerable part of me to be a more open to, not only like love, but relationships and, friendships and all that stuff, and the ups and downs of them and how they can make us grow and change and learn and understand ourselves a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Right. It definitely makes sense. And since this is going to be kind of a naive question for me, but
Yeah.
since you are an actress, or actor or actress, one can actually hide behind roles. And I think some of the more courageous artists are the ones who allow themselves to put a real name on who they are,
Mhm.
and be open and vulnerable. Was that, was that a big leap for you as far as just being vulnerable with as an artist, whereas a lot of people hide behind their art? It seems like you just put yourself out there, or is it you just don't think about it, you just go out there in a bold fashion, I guess.
Well, it's a little bit of both. It definitely is hard for me to be truly vulnerable. I'm not going to say that I don't hide from time to time. I definitely do. I hide behind jokes and laughter and little things like that. It's a very easy thing for me to do, and it's something that I've always done. But it definitely took being on We Are Who We Are, on the set of We Are Who We Are, and being on the set of Supercell to be even more comfortable in the acting space with that vulnerability, with my music, so to speak. It's kind of just like just putting it out there. I didn't write music for other people. I'm glad other people enjoy it and like it and love to listen to it and can relate to it. But I mainly just put it out there for myself, so I could go back and listen to it and relive those thoughts and feelings and emotions that I was going through at the time, and try to dissect them 5, 6 years later with a hopefully more mature mind. But on the acting space, I am very big on hiding, and I'm very scared, and I'm not going to claim like I'm the belle of the ball. I'm definitely very afraid, but thankfully I've had some amazing directors. Jamie for sure was one of the best directors. He really, really encouraged me to be more comfortable with trying new things. Like there's a big scream in that trailer of Supercell. I can't tell you how terrified I was just to scream, and to let that vulnerability show. But Jamie was very, very helpful in, allowing me to tap into that side of myself. And without him, I don't know if I ever would have been able to do it. And Daniel as well, very sweet, sweetest guy in the world, obviously from Canada, so he has to be. But he's so, so, so nice, and he was so supportive. Whenever I expressed my insecurities to him about how nervous I was being in a big film with these big name actors, him and Anne were very, very helpful and supportive and saying like, "Hey, you got this. You have a right to be here. You're talented enough, and you deserve to be here." So, like I said, I definitely hide. I'm not gonna say like I'm perfect. I always am hiding, but I'm learning more and more how to be a little bit more vulnerable. And I'm very thankful that I have the people in my life that let me tap into that side of myself.
Yeah, final couple questions. With such great projects behind you and great collaborations and very nurturing experiences, does that make you more excited to tackle many more acting projects, or do those past experiences, so positive in light, make you more selective on how you embark on your next movie or television program or whatever project you participate in?
It definitely makes me, I hate to say a little bit of both again, a little bit of both. It makes me more selective in being aware of what type of projects that I want to sign on to. And very aware of the type of people that I want to surround myself with. Everything is that I've been able to work on, thankfully, has been very, very nice and sweet, and the people have been very nice and genuine. But it's you got to make sure that you keep that kind of stuff around you. That's very important for me, especially. I can't work with I don't want to say an inappropriate word. I can't work with mean people. I prefer to work with people that are very nice and very kind. We don't have to be besties, but I at least want us to be cordial. So it definitely makes me a lot more focused on the type of people that I'm going to be around when I sign on to a new project. I always try to make sure I get myself very well acquainted with the director, the other cast members, even people that I'm not working with that much. I still want to get to know you and see what type of person you are, because that will definitely dictate whether I think this is a healthy and safe environment for me to be a part of.
Yeah.
But I've been equipped very well with some good backup people. I got my Nova and everything. So I'm definitely like, okay, if some like mean people do show up, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I gotta leave immediately. Good
Yeah.
projects they come with that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely going to try and defend myself and keep myself sane as much as possible. And like I said, thankfully I got my my Nova.
Yeah, you're all
And
good
I
on
have
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I have my
definitely.
mom and my dad. So,
Yeah.
a little bit of both. I hate to say it, but a little bit of
A
both.
little bit of both. Before we leave, just a two-part question. One,
Sure.
can you, right off the top of your head, can you name one of your all-time favorite films? And what is it about
Mhm.
this specific movie that resonates with you? And then the flip side of that, can you name a movie that you love that you feel is might be underrated or unseen that you would like to bring out to the light? So that's
Oh gosh, there's so many. I have to pick
yeah,
one.
yeah.
My favorite film. Oh God, that is a hard one. I said for a long time, and I'll probably stick with this one. One of my favorite films is A Monster in Paris. It's a Netflix movie. Yeah, a lot of people haven't heard of it. And as a musician, I just loved the sound of it. Sean Lennon is one of the characters. He plays, I don't know if it's a cockroach or it's a bug. We'll say it's a bug that gets transformed into this like music thing, and he just can't communicate through words. He has to communicate through song. And it's a beautiful story about him just wanting to sing. And, it's a kid's movie, so it's a really simple concept, but the music of it is so beautiful. The song from it, A Monster in Paris, Sean Lennon does an amazing job singing it, and the musical score of it is top tier. So that's why I love it. One movie that I feel like doesn't get a lot of recognition. What's a movie that I love that I feel like doesn't be seen a lot? Oh God, I
It
don't
could
even know.
it could be the same thing in Monster in Paris. That's
I would
probably
say maybe, yeah, maybe Monster in Paris. It's not very well known. Yeah, I don't think it went to like the movie theaters or anything. I discovered it on a whim one day on Netflix, but it's a great movie, and sometimes I feel like movies and television shows can get so complex and complicated, and it can be hard to follow so many different storylines from time to time. With this one, it's so simple, and it's nice to go back to like your childhood aspect of, just seeing a little bug, traveling through Paris, and he just wants to sing. It's just so beautiful. The music of it is absolutely spectacular. That or Encanto. Encanto, maybe we'll make Encanto my favorite, and then we'll make a Monster in Paris the one that needs to
yes.
be seen more.
Encanto's an amazing film. But Jordan,
Encanto.
yeah.
Ah, I love
Jordan,
it.
thank you so much for your time. Really love Supercell.
Thank you. Thank you for talking to
Yeah.
me. Your
And
mic quality is top tier, by the way.
oh yeah. By the way, next time I want Nova on a stool. So during the entire interview, I'll be
Yeah,
asking
so she
both of you
can,
questions.
baby, come here. You want to hop up? She's like, no, I don't want any press right now. So
That's me. I never leave the
she's
house. But
here. There
thank you
she
so
is.
much. Take care, Jordan.
Thank you. You have a
Thank you.
good one.